Right, rumours and signings programme again. Not a lot of rumours this time of the year, really. We don't have very many, it's mostly signed up. So I've got Pete here with me. Hi, Pete.
How's it going, mate? You alright?
Yeah, just have a wee chat about what's going on. So I'll run through the teams and then we'll have a wee chat about one of our rivals at the end of it. Bracknell Bees, they're complete. Nothing to say about them at all. Hasn't been anything for the last 2 months. Not really interested either, but there we go. Guildford Flames. 2 ex-Phoenix guys have signed on the dotted line again. Andrew Sharp and Dean Holland. Well, happy for them.
Yeah, so we all know what you get with Andrew Sharp. And again, Dean Holland brings a bit of grit to the team as well. But is it me or they're just recruiting like our championship winning squad from a couple of years ago, piece by piece?
Yes, and Marcus as well. Yeah, it looks like they don't seem to put any great effort into recruiting, but it must work because they win trophies, don't they?
True, there's
so
that.
Can't really argue with that.
So.
Phoenix news will be at various other parts of the show during the week, which I'm sure you'll be happy to hear about, and there may well be a couple of signings coming up later as well. Milton Keynes, they're very quiet. I don't know whether Vito's away on holiday or not. The excitable Italian. I don't know whether he's away on holiday and nothing's happening, but they've been pretty busy with the move to Coventry, I think, haven't they, as well? That hasn't helped any.
Yeah, that's probably taken up quite a lot of time with the rink being closed for refurbishment. So probably let's put things on hold. Just imagine with all the player accommodation and everything as well.
Means another couple of pints in the windmill when we go down there for a weekend, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it's not all bad news, I guess. So.
Peterborough Phantoms, a couple of really interesting ones here. 2 imports forwards signed. Eric Piatak, he's Slovakian. He's or Czech Republic, I can't remember. I didn't bring my notes. But good stats in the division he's worked on. He could well ring up some numbers for Peterborough, especially with their method of playing.
Yeah.
He could well be seeing a lot of the puck. And we've got to mention Yaroslav Chesky. Found himself another club again. Then he's been called Tom Daly a couple of times. I don't know whether he looks like him or whether it's something that he actually does. You get any shed any light on that one, Pete?
I'm staying well clear of that. I'm not getting into the controversial stuff. I'll leave that to you because you can kind of talk your way out of it a little bit.
He definitely got 2 9.9s last season on one of the games. Right, and there's only one rumour there, James White coming up from the juniors, but probably, I would think, pad out their already large squad. Steel Dogs, nothing at all from the Steel Dogs. I would think they've got an import to sign yet, import forward, and maybe a couple for coming up from their academy just to pad out the bench a little bit. The Jets, again, nothing from the Jets. Slava's must be on holiday. They still got to announce their backup netty and probably a couple of Brit D-man. I think they're finished with their imports, so we'll have a look at them in a couple of weeks. Swindon Wildcats, one of the Taylor brothers, Floyd Taylor, he's re-signed for another season. I would expect Loris to do the same, I think, in a couple of weeks. But a good rumour from Swindon was Max Burbrayer signing from them. And I thought, there it goes, flying through the sky, I think. But it was soon put to bed because the day after the rumour came out, he re-signed for Cardiff. I couldn't see Max. Kazakhstan international, I'll have you know.
Yeah, it can be a bit weird if he did kind of move across to the EPL. I mean, he's obviously still putting points up in the Elite League. And you got to think if he didn't sort of sign with another elite team, maybe he'd look to going back home or possibly abroad somewhere.
Yeah, right. And only Telford left. Oh, sorry, back to Swindon. Stevie Lyle's back up. He'll be getting a lot of splinters, I would think.
Yeah, you can imagine they're gonna ride Stevie Lyle and that all the way through the season. And bar any injury, you'd imagine the backup goalie is going to have the best seat in the house to watch the Wildcats. Which
is one of the reasons why James Hadfield actually left. You know, he couldn't see himself getting much ice time, so away he went. Telford, they look like they've completed to me, but they've still got a couple of import slots, should they wish. So obviously, with the way their setup is, it's a budget driven, very much a budget driven. So hopefully they've got a bit of money for somebody else to add to it.
Maybe they're kind of using the Tony Hand technique almost, but for more than the last import that we usually do, and see if there's any that kind of really good imports that are available for a bargain price.
I'm still hearing Jeff Glower to them. I know Jeff has come out and said he's definitely not signing for Peterborough, but he wants to be fixed up. He wants to stay in the country. So where now though? He'd be a second line import now, I would think. with Jeff. The old legs not getting any younger, but
Well,
he'll do a job for somebody. There's no doubt about that.
I was going to say, should we start a rumour off? Second line import, possibly Phoenix. What do you reckon?
Yeah, but then we say, if you don't hear it on Phoenix TV,
Yeah, there is that.
you've got to be careful on that one.
We can edit that out, can't we, Lawrence? He's nodding. Right, so they're not actually going to see that bit, so it's all right.
You believe that? Right, okay,
Moving
moving
swiftly on.
Right, Basingstoke Bison. I've left them till last. No signings, no rumours, but they have announced that the squad is complete. So I just thought it might be worth having a wee look at the rivals. Pete, starting with the netminders. Dean Skins has moved over to there. Connor Standing was there before. Of course, Dean's got to replace Stevie Lyle.
Yeah, not the easiest job in the world, is it? I mean, obviously, Steve Lyle did a cracking job for Basingstoke last year, as unfortunately we found through most of the season, not quite in the playoffs, like. And again, I think he was one of the reasons that Basingstoke were challenging there and thereabouts for pretty much every trophy. So yeah, he's got a tough job, but he's an experienced netminder in the EPL, so you'd imagine he'll do a really good job for him.
Yeah, but Skins doesn't sound the same as Lyle, does it? Doesn't got the same ring to it, has it?
Well, no, but hopefully that won't stop us putting a few goals past.
Right, on to the D. There's not a lot of changes there in the D. I mean, Kurt Reynolds, hopefully he's going to have an injury-free season. Zach Sullivan, Joe Baird, Carl Graham. But this one, interesting, Miroslav Vantroba. His stats look really, really good. Apparently he's got a shot like a rocket from the blue line. So they could be looking for some points from the D this season.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, the stats he's put up do make him look as like one to watch. And again, maybe it's one of those, will he fit into the system they're playing? Will he kind of transition across to the style over here? And again, will they kind of focus just on him, like, the power play or something like that? So, it'll be an interesting one to see anyway.
So that D to me looks fairly steady. I mean, they're going to need it. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, Stevie Lyle's gone. I mean, no disrespect to the goalies they've got, but Stevie Lyle was probably the best goalie in the EPL. So maybe they're kind of bulking the defence up just a little bit to kind of counteract the loss of Stevie's presence back there.
A few changes in the forward line, really, but we've got the old favourites: Joe Miller, Joe Greener, Cameron Wynne, Andrew Melletrino. They're back. But looking at their imports, there's Doug Shepherd, obviously player coach. Joe Rand. Now he surprised me last year. He's a much better player than I was led to believe that he was. I thought he had a very, very good season for Basingstoke last year, coming up from the ENL as was. But he's not a bad forward.
Yeah, he put quite a lot of points up. But the other thing is, maybe it's one of those where obviously no one knew who he was last season, so you got maybe a bit of extra room and people couldn't read him too well. Will this year be a little bit different, like second season syndrome almost? But yeah, he was a quality player and dangerous every time he got the puck.
And Thomas Karpov, that's a good signing. He looked really good tail end of last season with Telford. Got lots of points, maybe a big blow for them, but he'll fit in well with Doug Shepherd feeding him. I think that's going to be quite interesting there.
Yeah, like I said, obviously with Telford, he was bagging the points, like I said, especially the tail end of the season. If he can carry that form over to Basingstoke, again, like I said, with the D, the netminding, and some of the forwards they've got and some of the additions, they could be a very, very dangerous team again.
And our fireman, Nicky Chin, back from Milton Keynes after a season away. He's back as captain at Basingstoke. I've known Nicky and watched Nicky since way back in the Devil's day. You either love him or you hate him. He's one of these guys that you shout and curse him, but you'd have him in your team in a heartbeat. He's still got it, Nicky. Yeah,
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. He's one of those guys where he's on the ice and he plays against you. You're hurling abuse, you want him to sit in the sin bin for the whole game. But if he's on your team, he's just one of those guys that you love rooting for. And again, I've got to admit, hate him on the ice because he's a pain in the rear end. But off the ice, an absolute quality bloke. It's like mild schizophrenia almost, two personalities.
Another good signing, Aaron Connolly from, I think it was the Jets. He's did a couple of seasons and is getting better every season. So that's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, they're looking at a quality side. I mean, again, it's whether the pressure of the netminding kind of gets to him. Obviously I'm standing for Stevie Lyle. Again, it's making Dean Skins sound like kind of a rookie who can't handle the pressure, which he isn't. I just think with all the pressure they had last year to deliver some silverware, and it didn't quite pay off with them investing heavily in like Steve Lau and a couple of other players. Will this season sort of be their season where they can get something?
Well, I think they'll be up there. I think that's a squad capable of challenging. There's no doubt about that on it. So we'll have to watch this space.
Yeah, I think just like I said, consistency. I think will be the main thing for them, which was the problem they had last year.
Right. Well, hopefully next time another couple of teams will have completed. We're going to wee chat about that. So that's it for the rumours and signings for this week.